I just got back from Montreal and Ottawa. I am amazed.
Is it colder there than it is in Winnipeg?
No, it's beautiful. I think Ottawa's humming around -10. Montreal around 0 to -5 is beautiful, fantastic. A lot of snow, a lot of slush, a little dirty. You know who got married at the Chateau Laurier where I was staying?
My favorite hockey player?
Your boy, Stevie Y. He got married at the Chateau Laurier back in the day. Back in the day when the NHL CBA said 2 guys per room, not 1 guy per room. Now where everybody gets their own room. Back in the day, guys shared. And Stevie Y, he met his missus. He's a Cranbrook boy, Cranbrook, BC. He met his missus from the Ottawa area and said, we're going to get married at the castle in Ottawa. Got married just outside of Parliament Hill at the Chateau Laurier.
Yeah, because he was a Peterborough Pete, so it makes sense that he'd probably meet his missus when he was in that tender age.
Yeah, it's cool though. Stevie Y, he could pick anywhere in the world to get married, and that's where he wanted to get married. But as far as the actual cities go, the European architecture in Montreal is stunning. But the people of Montreal I found the most amazing because these people are so classy the way that they dress. Everybody is dressed nice. Everybody takes pride in how they dress and how they showcase themselves, which I would assume because you're not in Winnipeg or Saskatchewan where you're just trying to bundle up and be as warm as you can. You actually care about how you look and you present, which is nice to see. I also didn't feel like I had to have my head on a swivel anytime I was in downtown Montreal. Like somebody might give me the old Winnipeg handshake, right? 2 to the stomach, 1 to the chest.
It's interesting. In Western Canada, we've always read and felt about this disdain and this wanted sovereignty that Quebec in particular really, really wants. And until you get out there, and as you mentioned, it truly is the only international metropolis that Canada has. I mean, Toronto and Vancouver, sure, but they're very, very modern for the most part. Like Montreal is an old city. It's got a lot of ties back to Europe. Like it really does feel that way with the cobblestone streets. And then you go over to the East Coast, in St. John's, Newfoundland. I mean, you might as well, if you opened up your eyes one morning and walked outside, you wouldn't know if you were in Ireland or if you were in St. John's, Newfoundland. You really wouldn't. So it really is distinct. And that's what I love about the tapestry of Canada is that we've got all these different models from coast to coast. And it truly is a unique unity of country. And I know you want to talk a little bit about politics later and kind of the current state of Canada and the relationships and the trade with the United States of America. But I love Montreal. Beautiful women out there. The fashion is incredible.
The women are fantastic.
Buildings are great. Yeah, honestly, at certain points you look over and you're like, is that Hogwarts? Like, is Harry Potter going to be flying over in a broom here right away? Like, it's a beautiful city. I love it there.
Culture's great. People are friendly. I was amazed, too. I couldn't find the homeless, but just because living
Were you looking for them?
Well, I was looking for them because in Vancouver, you can't go anywhere without seeing some dude zonked on a bench or, lighting a fire for his bong. But in Montreal, I couldn't find any of this. And I'm wondering, where are the homeless encampments? Like, this is a very clean place, clean city. They have an underground city. So like the whole city, kind of like in Winnipeg with the True North Square? No, Winnipeg Square. The walkways and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
The Skywalk.
Maine,
The Skywalk.
Yeah.
They have the exact same thing. I went into the metro station. There's the homeless encampment underground. But there's nothing above ground. But food is great. People are friendly. Also, too, because I was staying at the Chateau Champlain. They call it the cheese grater. Big cheese grater design. And for those that don't know, there's a little wheel of brie cheese at the top, which is kind of on brand, but it's kind of funny because you don't put brie cheese on the wheel, on the cheese grater. But all the NHL teams, well, not the NHL teams, but the Four Nations teams were staying there. The staff were staying there. Everybody from the NHL was there, the media, everybody. And it was so cool because going into the elevators, going from breakfast, lunch, dinner, around town, whatever it was, bumping into different people. Like I hopped into the elevator after my morning workout, 2 espressos in hand, as typical. And one of the guys from the NHLP, I won't mention his name, he's in the elevator, and I kind of get that feeling. You know that feeling like when somebody recognizes you, like they're eyeing you up and down. I think I know this guy. And I could feel this as my head's up and I'm crushing my espresso. And then as I put my head down, he says, "You do that podcast, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I do. We do that podcast." And he said, "I wouldn't say this if anybody else was in here because I work for the NHLPA. Love the show." And a lot of that feedback. So to anybody at the Four Nations tournament that's been watching the show, thank you. To everybody that watches the show, regardless of where you are, whether you found the show from TikTok or our hot takes on Instagram Reels, or you're just a hockey fan, or you live in the city of Winnipeg, thank you, because that keeps us going.
Hey, more hockey content. It might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?